continue to trade options? Should I do swing trading? You know, do I get out of my positions? You know, what's going on with inflation, the elections? Listen, there's so much going on in your head right now, but you know what? You're in good shape because trading is one of the best jobs out there, and you need to know how to trade, but you're probably trading the wrong way. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple of things that are going to knock your socks off. I'm going to specifically educate you and show you something that is called iceberg orders, big block orders. Now, remember, what makes stocks go up and go down? Buying and selling. I'm going to share this with you right now, and I'm going to tell you everything we're going to cover. I'm going to show you stuff that is like called the Nasdaq book viewer. I'm going to show you exactly what these numbers mean. Some of you probably seen it before. Some of you are probably confused. Some of you are like, oh, it's got too much data. But this is how the exchanges work. I am also going to show you something that's called level 4. I am going to show you exactly on a chart, on a heat map, where are these orders? Are they there in the future? Are they getting out? Are they getting executed? So what you're about to learn today is going to be one of probably the most disturbing things out there. And what I mean by disturbing is that you're going to realize that you've been trading blind for so long that it's now to stop focusing on charts and the past, but now it's time to focus on the future. And the future of that crystal ball is, where are the buyers and sellers? And that's what we're going to talk about. So let me just move on and get ready and get right into it. So before we get started, I just want everyone to be clear. Quick little risk disclosure from our compliance department. Just understand that results vary from student to student. I'm not making any guarantees. I'm not making any promises, no warranties. And if anyone does, I think you should run far away. This is strictly going to be educational purposes. And you know what? The best way I kind of explain it is that if you're going to trade wisely, okay? Because you can lose a lot of money in trading not knowing what you're doing. Now, this is what we're going to learn right now. We're going to talk about determining what stocks, what make them more tradable, meaning that it's all about risk. Could you get in? Could you get out? All that stuff. I'm also going to talk about level 3, aka ECN book. If any of you have a direct access system, it will tell you that. We're going to talk about level 4. I'm going to talk about tape reading. If you read any of the old books, maybe you read mine. I'm going to talk about how we read the tape, something that some of you might think, it moves a little fast. It's really not. You're probably just looking at a fast-moving stock, and how to basically progress as, if not a full-time trader, or maybe a part-time trader, because this is not a full-time job, and these are the things that we're going to cover. Now, before we get started, I always like to get to know and do a quick little poll. I want to know, what kind of trader are you? Are you a stock trader, options trader, futures trader, forex trader? Just going to pop a little poll out there for everybody to answer and see how all of you guys answer this question. All right. It's always kind of fun to get everybody all rallied up and get ready, and kind of get to see if everyone's out there paying attention. Now, you don't have to fill it out in the room. Just go out there and just put it in the chat. Just click on the poll. Well, if it's a stock market, you know, and where you are in the world, then yes. Love keeping my snap. Okay, listen to you. Well, thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate it. All right, so let me share the polls and see how all of you guys got. Okay, so it looks like we got a lot of options traders, quite a few stocks, little futures, forex, and some private. So let me just tell you a little bit about this. I'm actually a stock trader. When I turn on the TV, what do they talk about? I don't hear them talking about futures, very little. Maybe sometimes options, a little bit more cryptocurrency, but mainly stocks. So listen, if you want to be a good options trader, just to let you know, it's the movement of the stock that makes an option move. So if you can't be a good stock trader, you're going to be a horrible options trader, okay? Same thing with swing trading. Now, I'm over a 25-year veteran. I do public speaking for some of the biggest brokerage firms in the industry, and also a lot of the media companies, including being on Nasdaq, educating people how to trade on the exchanges. I love what I do. I have a passion to do it. I tell you one thing I hate. I hate seeing people lose money. And the reason why people lose money is because it could be ignorance. Maybe it could also be you're educated by the wrong person. But I know a lot of people like to take matters in their own hands, which you should. But you would not go diagnose yourself without going seeing a doctor first, okay? So this is money we're talking here. It's a very serious job, and if you're going to get into this business, you got to do it right. I love what I do. I really appreciate all of you who are here today to listen in, but hopefully this is only the beginning, because when I talk about how these things work, you're going to realize that you've been trading blind this whole time. Now, listen, I'm also very well known. Had a book out, How to Beat Market Makers in Their Own Game. And actually, you can go to Amazon and purchase it today for $47. But listen, I'm willing to give it to you for free today at the end of this presentation. And I know how everyone loves to read books. This is probably going to be your best book you're going to read, not being very biased, but listen, it's a fast read. Wiley, one of the well-known publishers, would not make me a publisher, would not publish my book if they thought it was not something worth publishing. So, how did I get started? Let me just talk about that. Let me tell you a history about myself, because I want to get you to know what kind of trader I am. I started as one of the original day traders in the industry. Now, some of you are doing it now, not realizing it, but there's over several million people that do it around the world. I was one of the few thousand that started it back in the early 90s. Forbes wrote a big article about us, about a bunch of kids tormenting Wall Street. So the thing is, what I've learned as a trader, the way I learned how to be very successful, I learned from my parents, because, you know, I'm a first generation Italian. My parents came here for a better life, and worked very hard, worked 6 days a week, and came with $20 in their pocket. But they said, you know what, this is the land of opportunity. There's some great, you know, go out there. We struggled. And you know what? If you want to be successful in life, if you want to have a better life with your family, you want to, you go find a job that's going to help pay you. That's going to, you work less, not as hard, with high amount of rewards. And being here in New York, we all New Yorkers known as the financial capital of the world. So I have two families I trade with. I have my everyday family, and I have my traders every day. I'm hopefully going to make everyone part of my family, because being a family person and been married for over 25 years, I've learned that this is a great job. I get to travel with my family, and I get to work closely with my students, where I'm with them all day. And believe me, we have a relationship, which I don't want to get into great detail right now, but when I give you access to visit all of them at the end of this presentation, you're going to see why we've been in business for 25 years and have such probably the best reputation on the internet. So with that said, I want to stop talking about myself. I want to get right into this. I want to talk about and tell you how to do this successful, because the way I learned how to be very successful in trading is because I learned by some of the best traders that live here. Some of the biggest ones live across the street from me in my house. I mean, listen, you want to do this successfully, you don't have to kill it. We're not looking to make millions or billions. We're looking to make a day's pay. Some of us just want to replace our everyday job. Maybe we're retiring. We know Social Security is not going to pay enough. We don't even know Social Security is going to still be there. But you can't live off that. You can't live on your savings. You got to build on it. And that's how you become a very good trader. So being a good trader, you just got to know how to play today's market. So let's begin. This week in my cyber group, I want to invite you all in here. Okay. Now, this is the original trading room. Now, what I'm going to talk about in the next few minutes is I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you're going to see and what to expect. Listen, I know a lot of you here, just out of curiosity, before I go into this detail, I'm going to do a quick poll. Could you guys just tell me, are you self-educated? Did you take paid courses? Do you have a mentor done instructing? Just want to see. And by the way, no one could see who you are or where don't be embarrassed, okay? Now, as you're filling out this questionnaire, this poll, let me just tell you, a lot of the people that are in this room, I'm going to invite you in. I started this room over 25 years ago. This is the original trading room before anyone even got into the industry. There's a lot of them out there, but I'm going to invite you to the original one. Now, you're going to meet people in this room, and you're going to see them that they were just like you. It's never too late to learn, okay? Please keep in mind, it's never too late. So, but for you to get involved, you need You need a team. You cannot trade by yourself. You cannot watch videos all day. You cannot watch 800 hours of somebody selling you a package that they're gonna make you the next guru or the next speaker on CNBC or Fox Business. All of us need to understand. First of all, you have to find out if trading is for you, and do you like this style? And that's what I'm going to do at the end of this presentation. Okay, so. Couple of things you need to understand. You know how a lot of us go out. Oh, let me share that poll with you. So it looks like we have about almost half of you are self-taught. A little bit more of you took some paid courses and so on, which is great. Okay. I'm glad a lot of you are starting to realize it. And you know what? I think the hardest step for some of you that are self-taught, I don't know, sometimes you're probably still looking for the right person. Some of you just want free stuff, which I'm warning those people specifically. You should quit trading if you're looking. There's nothing free in life, okay? And or some of you still haven't found the right person. But I'm glad a lot of you went out there and made that that effort. So let's talk about what we first do. We're all just starving for finding the next biggest runner in the market. And you always get friends that will give you trading tips and everything like that. If you're watching, Jim Cramer or whatever it may be, okay, anything that's moving in the market. So for me, when I get tips or anything like that, I'll look at the stock and I'll see how the stock is trading. And you know what? To me, I kind of like tips. Some people don't take a tip, but to me, some of them are pretty hilarious. That someone even is telling me this, because I'll look at the chart, and I'll look at the volume, and I'll look where the orders are, and then somebody might say, wow, you know what, you're onto something, because there is a very interest in this stock. So listen, the goal is making money. That's where it comes down to it. And to make money, you have to find things that are moving, and that's one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make. They'll go out there and trade stocks because, ooh, what's Google doing? Ooh, what's Tesla doing? Oh, I can't afford Tesla. Let me trade the options. Yeah, how's that working out for you? Be honest with yourself, okay? And I'll tell you how to be honest with you. Did you see the stock FREY moved yesterday about 18%? Just give me a quick yes or no. Did anybody see this stock? FREY, just a yes or no. Sherry, you did. Okay, good. Joyce, you did. Mike, you did. Okay. Alan, Rick, you didn't. Okay. Listen, it's okay if you didn't see it. There's 25,000 stocks, but let me tell you this. Let me get my little pointer right here so you guys can follow along. My animation. There we go. Always forgot to get my little pointer right here. All right, so there's my little dot. So you can see the stock right here went from $14, all right, and shot up right around 9:30 this morning, went all the way up to about 11:30 to about 15:40. So you're talking about $1.40. Let's do the math. If you just got half that move, okay, let's say you bought it at $14.40. And you sold it at, I don't know, $14.80. Just a little move right here, right? 40 cents on 1,000 shares is $400. $400, do that over the course of a year? Yeah, that's a $100,000 a year salary. I don't think anyone's complaining. How many of you guys trade Fry yesterday, or more concerned about, oh, I can't do anything because I have to wait for the Fed to make their announcement when he crashed the market about 500 points. So listen, there are opportunities there every day. That's the way you have to look at it. Now, let me change the slide here. Let's talk about Sava from this week. Anyone heard Sava? See what happened with Sava? Sava went from $33 in one day. This was just basically one of the stocks on our watch list. $34 to $39. Okay. Today, let me just bring up the chart on the stock so you can see what happened today. Today, it ran from right at the gate at 9:50. It ran from $36 to about, I don't know, less than 10 minutes, ran to $40. Now, you're probably asking me, yeah, Fausto, You're like everybody else, you woulda, coulda, shoulda, everything. Yeah, go look at our Twitter. Go look at our YouTube channel. Okay. We were talking about these stocks all day. All right. So we were trading the stocks. And not only that, but there are other stocks out there that were moving also that I want to bring up too, they're going to kind of shock you. All right. Now, how do we find these stocks? I don't have a crystal ball. Okay. I don't have this special algorithm tool. You know what? You all have the same tool I have. And it's all about just going through the big percentage gainers and losers. Let me tell you our model, what we do here at Cybertrade University. Our model here is not to make money. It's not to lose it. Okay. And losing money is trading stocks that are going to give you the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward. At the end of the day, I don't know a damn crap what Sava does, and I really don't care. Okay, I don't care. No, I don't know what SPRO does. I don't really care. I mean, I know, but like at the end of the day, I'm in and out of that stock, and I just want to make a day's pay. I like to go sleep at night. I like to go to work, not knowing what happened. Okay, how many of you here disappeared and then found out, oh yeah, the Fed rate, and all of a sudden you find out that, my God, I should have sold it before the Fed rate. You know what I mean? Like, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't have been in the position in the first place. It would have been worked better. So just working off the big percentage gainers and losers is all we do. And we're going to show you that in our trading room. Now, not all tips are bad, like I talked about, and that's the way you have to look at it. You just got to follow the money. Sounds a lot easier than what it is, but it really is. It's not really that hard. Now, how do we follow the money? Now, let me eliminate all the charts and indicators and all this fancy heat maps and, newsletters and all that. Let's just go right to the data. Now, let me just ask everybody a quick question. Have any of you here watched me on Nasdaq? Do speaking on Nasdaq? I'm there as a regular guest. Couple of you, anyone else? No. Okay. Now, Nasdaq has me, now think about it, this is the exchange, okay? Out of all the brokerage firms and out of all the newsletters, Nasdaq is basically has me come do presentations to teach all of you, which I'm going to do right now, to make you understand how the market works. Now, you have to ask yourself something. Do you really know how the market works? Do you really, really, really know? Do you really know who is pushing the stock up that you're in? Do you really know who's pushing the stock that you're in? Do you really, how much smarter and better trading decisions if you just knew where the buyers and sellers are? Where's Jamie Dimon at? Where's Goldman Sachs at? Where where are the biggest mutual funds at? That's what I'm going to show you right now. So let's get to the most exciting part about following the money. Now, there are 4 ways to follow orders. There's level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. All right. I want to start off with level 1 and level 2. Now, if anybody here uses, maybe you look on your phone or maybe you're looking on TV, you know the little ticker on the bottom that you see that goes across the TV station? That is called level 1. That is giving you real-time data of where the stock is trading at. That's what they call level 1. I don't know if you know that. Then there's something called level 2. All right. Now, level 2 pretty much is outdated since the 90s, but kind of explain to you what we're looking at, because I know a lot of people neglect and don't know what it is. So right here, you got the B is for buyers and S for sellers. That's the bid. That's the ask. Column 1, 2, and 3. First column is a 4-letter abbreviation of an exchange like Nasdaq, New York Stock Exchange, or an ECN like, EDGX, BATS, Archipelago, all them. Whoever wants to buy the stock for the most amount is up on top. Whoever wants it for less money is down at the bottom. Whoever wants to sell their shares to the least is up on top. Whoever wants for more is down at the bottom. So basically what you're seeing is a negotiated market. You're seeing who wants to buy it, who wants to sell it. Simple as that. Now, this is the problem with this data. It's all it tells you. It tells you what the stock is trading on the Nasdaq, or let's say, on a specific exchange, but it's not giving you all the data. It's only telling you who's the best buyer and the best seller, like level one. It's not telling you all the buyers and all the sellers. So that's when we got to go and move on to level 3, which I want to do a poll question on this, okay? So my question is this: does anybody here have level 3? Just really quick, just give me a quick yes or no. Or not sure. All right. So this is one of the reasons why, like, I do a lot of presentations on Nasdaq, because Nasdaq, New York Stock Exchange, all these exchanges want you to know how you get to see all your orders out there and what exactly is happening. So I'm going to stop sharing it, and I'm going to share the results, and you could see that literally almost 80% of you, because if you're not sure, obviously I'll take that as a no, don't have it. It's time for you to pay attention, because what you're about to see right now is going to tick you off. And I'll tell you what's going to tick you off, because you're going to be like, why is nobody teaching me this? Why is nobody talking about this? And I'll tell you why: because they're not traders. They never worked as a market maker like I did. They never worked for a trading company. Just because somebody looks good on TV or sounds good, or had a really good ad on YouTube or Snapchat or whatever you're watching, Instagram, or they got you got sold on them because they're driving a nice car. You know what I mean? Doesn't make you money. What makes you money is how to play the game. All right. And now is time that you're going to see that I'm going to hopefully change the way you look at trading forever. And whatever I show you right here, I am going to practice what I preach, because I'm going to invite every single one of you to come to the trading room, and I'll show it to you for a whole week. So let's talk about and get right to Nasdaq. So Nasdaq has something called the book viewer, and I'll show you how to get it and how to utilize it. So what you have right here is, these are your buyers again, and these are your sellers. Okay. Now, when you were looking at level 1, you were only looking at one buyer and one seller. Now you're looking at hundreds of buyers and hundreds of sellers on the Nasdaq, and you're seeing every single order around the entire world. Every mutual fund, every brokerage firm, every algorithm, every dark pool, all those scary words, dark pool, algorithms. Where, listen, you could see it. There's no secret. Okay, payment for order flow, you could see it. Okay, you've just been trading blind. Now, how does this help us? It helps us to see the buyers and sellers, where they are located. All right, that's basically what we get to see here. Now, let me change the slide. Now, how do we use this data? That's basically what you want to look at. Well, let's go to basic 101 trading. We all like to use a chart. So when we look at a chart, we like to see what's called support and resistance. And you'll notice that the stock went down, and then all of a sudden it started going up. And for some reason, it stopped specifically at this price of right around $13.40. Now, why did it pick $13.40? Okay, why didn't it stop at 13? Why didn't it go down to 0? Why didn't it just keep going up from $14.40? Why did it go down? Okay, but most importantly, why did it stop and bounce back up? Because that's what we're always looking to do. We're always looking to buy stock at a good deal. Well, apparently we look at the buyer side, and when you go down here at the bottom, you'll see that there was a 115,000 share buyer. Now look, there are 20,000 share buyers, 7,000 share buyers, 200 share buyers, but right then and there on the stock symbol Ford, okay, so it's not some like, ooh, I never heard this company before. We all know Ford. There was a huge significant iceberg order out there. And if you were patient and you waited, and you watched it drop literally about 80 cents, you also could have got it at that support levels at 13.40. And if you got out here right around the 13.80, made 40 cents, 1,000 shares, $100,000 salary. Who doesn't want that job? Okay. So, but there's more. Let's check out resistance. Here we're looking at a stock, FX. I don't know what the company does. I don't really care. Okay. All I know, it's on the watch list. It's moving. It's got good volatility. It's up a lot. But the goal is, when do we take a profit? Okay. Well, doesn't matter what you and I think. Doesn't matter what you think, Alan. Doesn't matter what you think, Janice. Doesn't matter what you think, Patrick, and everyone else that's not answering. All it matters is what do they think. And if you look right here, even though the stock is going up, you can notice it stopped right around 540 and it started going back down to $5. Why did it stop at 540? Well, I could tell you this. It wasn't the seller of 300 shares that pushed it down. It wasn't the share of 3,000 shares seller that pushed it down. But it definitely has right around this area, right around here, around the 536 to 540, you got 1,000, 6,000, and 50,000 share seller out there. Between those, within that 2 cents, you literally got about you got like almost 60,000 shares looking to be sold. Who do you think could push down the stock more? The 300 share seller or the 60,000 share seller? Listen, you're watching the stock at 9:30 and you're seeing it going up, right? Your goal is to take a profit. Yeah, of course. How do we find that? Well, you can't look at the past because the past is not always indicative of the future. The only future you're going to get is to see where those sellers are. Well, the thing you got to understand here too, for everyone here, is you got to remember this. Sellers equal resistance. See, what happens, the big mistake that a lot of people look at is like, oh, that's support, that's resistance. No, no, no. There's no such thing of support resistance unless that resistance in the past is dictated by the seller in the future. Because we all know supports and resistance levels get broken all the time. And the only way you're going to protect yourself from that is to see, okay, I know there's support here. I know there's resistance there. I know Mr. Fibonacci told me that. And I know MACD told me this. But are the same people that were there in the past are there in the future? And that's what you have to look at right here. Now, really quick question before I continue. Did I confuse anybody? Did I lose anyone yet? No. Okay, great. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. I only spent 10 minutes. My God, could you imagine I showed you this over a week? Because some of you be like, wow, this makes sense. But you know what, Fausto? PowerPoints get manipulated. I've seen this story before. I had somebody show me how much money he made, showing me his commission run, this, that. I am not here to throw in your face why me, I'm the best and how much money I make. Forget about that. It's not about me. I have nothing to prove, okay? What I need to prove is change your life to make sure that you don't lose money and get caught at these big sellers and blow up your account. Because the main reason why you're doing it is you're using the wrong tools. Let's go over a couple more examples. Okay, here's a stock that we were trading the last couple of days, PIXY. Beautiful stock, had a nice pop. The stock literally in pre-market ran from $13 to $18 in pre-market. Now, some of you might want to think, do we chase it? Do we go up? Do we buy it? Whatever it is. Okay, well, if you notice around 8 o'clock when it made that big run, from 8 to around like 8:20, kind of like hovered right around here, around this 1650-ish price. You'll notice there's a big buyer out there for 15,000 shares. Now, listen, does that sound like a lot? Well, when you're getting the average seller out there trading on the exchange, only showing 100, 200, 300, yeah, it's a lot, okay? And not only is it a lot, but when the market got close to the open, it ran from $16.50, it ran to $26, okay? Why did it do that? Because of one reason. There was a big buyer out there, and let me tell you, if 15,000 shares starts eliminating all those 100 share sellers out there, that stock has to go through 150 different levels, and it could push up that stock pretty damn quickly. Now, let's look at Blue Apron. Another stock that we traded. Well, Dean, thank you very much for that, and I really appreciate what you have to say about that. And Rich is one of our instructors here, sharing you their thoughts. Listen, I've trained hundreds of thousands of people over the years. I've gone to expos, I've done webinars, I had 1,000 people in there, and it just bothers me. It bothers me because there are angry people out there that want to blame everyone else, but to blame themselves. Listen, there are good people out there and there are bad people out there. There are good colleges and there are bad colleges. Okay. I can't speak for other people. I'm not here to bash anyone, but at the end of the day, I am here to kind of educate you that if you really want to do this, you do it right or don't do it at all. I just spoke to a student just a while ago that got so fed up with their mutual fund. He's like, you know what? They're losing me money, but at the end of the day, when I look at them, they're still making money. They're still hitting me up for money. What the hell I need them for? I could just do it myself. And you know what? You could do a better job, but you better learn how to do it first. That's all I'm asking. Blue Apron had a big run. How do you know where to take a profit? I don't know. Where is everybody else taking a profit? Where would a person take a profit? He would want to sell. Where the seller's located? Oh, on the right. We work our way on the right, 100,000. Oh, look at that, 82,000 share seller at 630. So let's think about this for a second, fellow traders. Where do you think resistance levels is going to be? Without looking at a Fibonacci, a MACD, a Bollinger Band, a chart, a heat map, a newsletter, news, earnings. Where do you think resistance levels are going to be? Just out of curiosity. Well, let's look at the chart. Most people thought, oh, this thing is keep going, but look what it just did. Hit 630, came back down. Hit 630, came back down. Oh, really? Oh, no, it went down because it was a double top. That guy's been out there way before the double top even kicked in. And you know what? By the time you figure it out, you're probably the person that rode the stock down 40 cents. It's time to stop making mistakes and stop trying to be a leader. And guess what? It's okay to be a follower, because there are these iceberg orders out there that we teach you that you need to follow. And if you're not following them, listen, it didn't work too well for the Titanic. And I say it there all the time. The only reason why I came up with that word, iceberg order, because it started here at Cyber Trading University first, is that iceberg orders basically, are not very big on top, but they're very big at the bottom. And unless you want to, spend the money and look at the radar on the bottom, which most people don't, listen, it's a matter of life or death. Now, if you've seen level 3, hell, wait till we talk about level 4. Now, level 4 is a new platform, a new way of looking at things where you could see better orders. Now you could see consistency. You could see, you could aggregate other exchanges. So now not only looking at Nasdaq, now you could see New York Stock Exchange. You could see BATS. You could see all these exchanges. And not only that, but you could see how long he's been out there for, if his order's getting executed. So it gets more sophisticated. But if we have any chart readers out there, you're going to get this right away. So here's an example of what we call a ladder effect. You could see that there was a seller out there for about 40,000 shares. He started right around here, around 840 at 1150, and then he wanted to sell. He pushed down the stock lower. He wanted to sell. He's pushed it down further. He wanted to sell. He pushed it down lower. Now, let's think about this for a second. If you got a big seller out there and he keeps offering it lower and lower price, what do you think is going to happen to the price of the stock, everybody? What do you think is going to happen? Is stock going up or going down? Listen, if you can't answer this question, you better quit trading. Listen, I'm don't mind me. Sometimes I'm a little bit more abrasive, but I do not want you to lose money. Okay? So please answer the question. If you answer it, good. Thank you very much, Sharon, Marco, Gary. You're absolutely right. The stock is going down. So if you own the stock at 1150 and right now you're at 11, you're losing 50 cents. Do you take a loss or do you hold on to it? What do you do? Because that's everybody's biggest problem. Nobody wants to take a 50-cent loss. They're like, I just bought it 5 minutes ago. I can't lose $500. Take the loss, right? Listen, the seller's out there. How many shares you're trading? 100? 1,000? You got a 40,000 share seller out there. He wants out. Guess what? It went from 11. Now look at the stock. It's down to 1080. He just dropped his price at 11, 30,000. Oh, I could have got out at 11. Now I'm at 1180. Now I'm down another 20 cents. Do we hold on? Do we hold on? I don't know. Let's keep looking. Oh, shoot. He just showed up again. He wants out at 1080. Oh, my God. What do I do? Do I hold on? Or do we sell? Marco says, no, we got to get out. Do you know how many people will still hold this stock? Because they're like, no. This stock owes me. I need my money back. Okay, no problem. Now we're down 1150. He's still selling. He's still selling. So at the end of the day, Mark, a lot of people won't get rid of it. Right, Alan. People will say, oh, it's going to come back, right? Oh, it's going to come back. They want to take a look. Listen, we are the ants. And if you can't come to reality to that, you should not be trading. There are big institutions out there trading the stock every day, okay? You need to know what they're doing. And trust me, if I was able to get you out and learned how to do it on your own, take a 50-cent loss versus a $1 loss, let me ask you something. Is that worth $9 to you? Would you pay $9 to know, to figure it out, that if you could have got out sooner than later, would you pay $9? Sounds like a deal, right? Because I could have lost 1,000. What the hell's $9, right? Well, listen, there's certain data out there you got to pay for, and the data is only going to cost you $9. You know, so you pay $9 or you take the $1,000 loss. You make the decision. You know, I'm not done yet. Let's look at NEO. And if you look at NEO, you could see, ever go into a stock and the thing goes down and all of a sudden it's like it tanks and all of a sudden it goes up? Well, if you notice here in NEO, there was a big red line right here. There was a 114,000 share buyer at $19. Now look, 4,000, 2,000, 3,000. But you know what? When you see those colors and those big red lines, it makes it a little more obvious. Well, what do you think the stock's going to do? Go up, right? Well, guess what? The stock went down. Why did it go down? Well, somebody's like, listen, someone's like, oh, I finally found a person who wants to buy 100,000 shares. Hit him already. Get him. Sell. You ever use the time in sales? Look what happened. A big red ball. The red means a lot of selling came in. You see the big seller right here at 1930? Big seller came in, okay? So now you get to see, even though you see the orders out there, what happens if someone sold it to him? Because you know what? You ever see a very big support level and you're like, oh, this is a major support level. It's gonna, and then all of a sudden it breaks it and you wonder why? Well, two things must have happened. He probably wasn't there in the future. And if he was there, he probably got executed. These are basically what support and resistance. So my biggest tip to you is that if you don't know where the buyers are, and if you don't know where the sellers are, you're trading blind, regardless of what you know as support and resistance levels. Because look what happens. They will always show up, but you got to have a game plan. Because if that buyer got done at 19, like it or not, next biggest buyer is at 18. It's going there with you, without you. Some of you could afford a $1 loss. Some of you can't afford a $1 loss. But you know what? You could always buy it back. And that's where it comes into play. Now, let's go slap on a couple indicators. Let me ask everybody a dumb question. What chart's easier to read? Chart number 1 or chart number 2? What's easier to read? Really? Wow. And everybody wants to learn about indicators. You're telling me that the Bollinger Band, the MACD, stochastic, momentum, RSI, I mean, it looks like a big thing of spaghetti here. And you know what's funny? It does make sense. It does sound right, but the problem is they're laggers. They're not leaders. I can see right here is a big support level here at 15. I don't know what the hell 15 is here anyway. I don't know what the hell this is all about. I mean, really, to me, it looks like more confusing more than anything. All right. So technical analysis paralysis, that's what we call it. Okay. Listen, a lot of us look at these trades and they look at these numbers and you kind of like, it looks more confusing than what it is, but it's really not. It's not that as confusing as you think it might be. You just need to know what to look at when you need to look at it, and you need to follow the orders. You know, a lot of you are trading with today's platforms, and 90% of what they give you don't even need it. And the 90% that you do need, you're not even having up on the screen. So what we do here at Cyber Trade University is we'll help you set up the platform properly. We'll help you make sure you're looking at it right. Know what you're looking at. Because at the end of the day, when you call those brokerage firms, who do you think you're talking to? A trader? You're talking to somebody just hired that, which if they can even find anybody these days, because nobody wants to work. But even the person they get on the phone after getting on hold with them and going through, 10 different, press 1 to talk to account opening, press 2, would it be nice just to have full access to a person, pick up the phone, someone actually answers the phone, not putting through an automated system and getting on the phone? That's what Cyber Trade University is known for. That is why we have been ranked and have a 5-star rating on Google, endorsed by every brokerage firm, and which is unheard of after 30 years in the industry. Because we want to make sure that what you're doing is right for you. But to do it right, you got to know how to play the game first. So this is what I'm looking to do, okay? You can't do this being self-taught. You really just can't. You have to learn how to learn from others, see what mistakes are being made so you don't make those same mistakes, because you keep making those mistakes and you have to stop doing that. Richard says it sounds like Microsoft tech support lines. How did that work out for them, right? So the thing is, brokerage firms, exchanges, believe it or not, they want you to be successful. Because if you blow up your account, guess what? You're not going to trade anymore. Okay? If you don't trade, they don't make any money. So they want you to succeed. Okay? They really, really do. As much as they trade against you, they believe me, they're making money here and there. They got millions of accounts. Their acquisition cost to get a new account is very expensive. And the more you trade, the more money they make, believe it or not. But if you're making money, they're making money, what's wrong with that? Okay? Kumbaya. So right now is not a better time to learn than ever. You're going into the best time of the market. You go into an election. You see what's happening with the Fed. Volatility is what helps you succeed. But to do that, you have to learn how to trade first. You got to know how to play the game. Listen, we're the same party. We're the party of trades. Okay, no matter what your if you're a Democrat, Republican, if you're anti this plus that, whatever it may be, unfortunately, catastrophes make opportunities. If it's the financial crisis, if it's COVID, if it's Hurricane Sandy, if it's the Twin Towers, or good things, you know what I mean? Like, you don't make money on a straight line. When you look at the overall, I'm going to show you something pretty interesting, okay? When you look at, let me bring this up. Let's look at the Dow Jones. What has it done over the class of a year? If I drew a trend line right here, where are we? Where are we? If it wasn't for COVID and we went from 30,000 down to 18,000, where are we? We are exactly in the same place we were in. And and I know, we're broke even. We haven't gone anywhere. Nowhere. Actually, it looks a little bad. Looks like we're really going to we're backing off. But in the past, I know a lot of us are not making money. Like some of you who jumped in the market when COVID took a big hit, maybe jumped in around 20,000 and you ran it up to about up here, And then you think like, probably some of you, and it's funny, I always hear it all the time. Some of you are thinking like, oh my God, I'm a genius. I made so much money. I want more. And now all of a sudden, it's not as easy anymore. It is. Okay. So you better learn how to play the game, because there's going to be a great opportunity for you. And now going into the midterms, and going into, kids are back at school. You see what the Fed rate's doing. You got to know, do you hold or you short? So this is what I want to do. I want to invite every single one of you to come and watch and learn and see how we trade the market. Okay. I want you to see how we converted and we made people think for themselves. Listen, we don't tell you what to buy and sell. I'm the captain of the ship. My instructors are captains of the ship. We're going to take you fishing, and we're going to teach you how to fish. You ever heard the phrase, feed a man a day, you feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish, you feed him for life. That's what we want to do. Because to go out there, you need to see if other people are doing it. I'm not here to talk about myself. I don't believe in bragging. I think it's egotistical, I'll be honest with you. Doesn't make you money, okay? It just throws it in your face. You got to see, okay, Fausto and Josh and Rich. Yeah, I know you guys, you do well. I've seen you, but could you teach me how to do it? To teach you how to do it, you got to know how to play the game. So this is what we're going to give you. We do live audio broadcasting from 9 a.m. to 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. Live audio, video, charts, picking stocks, watching them, seeing iceberg orders, all that. And then we'll come back in the afternoon from 2:30 to 4. So we trade in the first hour and the last hour. I know we have people all around the world. Maybe it's too early, maybe it's too late, but there's always going to be a time for you to trade. And but we're running all day long, the trading room. So no matter if you show up for lunch or middle of time, it doesn't matter. But we do live audio commentary during that time. We start at 7:45 8 o'clock in the morning. So for about an hour and a half, we're trading a lot of pre-market. We do a little bit of aftermarket. So you get to see how all these things that you never were exposed to or thought you didn't have access to, you're going to see it live. Now, we do a lot of Q&As. We do a couple of trade talks. We're going to give you access to workshops that you're going to get. We really want to make sure that you're making a very clear decision, because your time is very valuable. Your money, you work very hard. You could lose it like that. These are just a couple of amazing things that we're offering. We also have a live app. So if you can't be by a computer, you can access it live in the trading room. So you could see it live. You could see your classes. You can connect with us with a live rep like that immediately. Not some of these fake ones that you go, oh, you want to use our tech service? And then it's all BS. It's like all, computers. This is all live stuff. You're going to get this live. All right. So everybody of you are going to have access to the room. We want you not to judge us on our winners. We want you to judge us on our losers, because we want to teach you how we control those losers. That's everybody's biggest issue. I know everybody wants to know how to make money, but you know what? You're never going to learn how to make money if you don't know how to stop losing money first. So that's our real ultimate goal, why we're inviting you here today. Now, this is the deal. This is all we're asking for, like I told you before, $9. That's it. $9 stinking dollars. Now, some of you would be like, that sounds too cheap. There's got to be a catch. What it is, I'll tell you what the catch is. I don't know who you are, and I'm not going to invite you in the room until you. The only way I can invite you in the room is you making a small investment. And guess what? After a week, if you thought I'm wasting your time, don't worry. I'll give you $9 back. I don't need your $9. I am looking for serious traders that want to learn how to trade and see what it's like to be with a 12-time world champion. I want to teach you how to teach your kids, your friends, everybody. What I teach, you could teach everybody, but I don't want you to continue to lose money, especially going into this type of a market. And as a bonus, if you do register right now, I will actually talk to you on the phone. Think about it. When was the last time, and I asked a lot of you this, that you took training? Really? Did you ever talk to the owner first? Did you ever talk to your mentor and instructor? Guaranteed you didn't, unless you spent tens of thousands of dollars with them, okay? I want to make sure that I interview you that if you're going to make this decision, that it's the right decision. Okay, and you know what? You might not like what you hear, but at the end of the day, I am not going to put you on a table under a knife if I feel like you don't need it. It's the same thing with trading. You need to make sure if this is for you. Now, let's take a couple of questions that I have across as some of you are registering. These are the questions that came across to some of me before we started. Does this strategy work for volatile markets? Of course, it's the whole part about it. If there's no volatility, you're not going to make any money. You can't make money on a flat line. How does that work for options? Oh, expired, worthless. Yeah, well, of course. Did you see what the stock was doing? You would have known that. You wouldn't have jumped in the first place. How much money do I need to get started? A lot. You're going to need a lot of money. You know how much money that is? $9. That's how much money you need to get started. Okay? Listen, before you start worrying about it, going out there and making an investment in the market, just take $9 stinking out, put it down, get in the trading room, and let's see what this whole story is about. Think about it. How much did you know before you came in here? How many of you all agreed with me? Things go up and down through buyers and sellers, right? Now, if I could show you for a week, sounds like, what does that come out to be? About 25 cents an hour? I think I'm worth more than 25 cents an hour, but I don't need the $9. I don't need the $90. I don't need the 900 and 9,000. I need to find traders that want to make six figures, that are going to take this seriously. And I could charge $200. I know a lot of you would probably pay for this, and you've probably done it before. This is probably the cheapest trade you'll ever make and the cheapest training you'll ever pay for. Now, a lot of people ask me, oh, do I need a brokerage account? No, we don't want you to trade. We don't want you to move brokerage accounts. We don't want you to do anything. We just want you to watch. We want you to see what it's like to be on the floor of an exchange. We want you to see what it's like being in a trading facility, which a lot of you probably never seen before. But it's got to start by you making that investment. Because listen, you can lose thousands in an hour, and I know you've done it. See what it's like to hear from people like, G. Bay, a 30-year veteran. These are people, and this isn't fake news. These are people that actually you're going to meet in the trading room that give us these testimonials. Go to Google right now, okay? And let me tell you, if you took training with someone, go check out that Google account. They probably won't even have one up there because they got so many negatives that technically you could take it down, all right? Listen, can't teach everyone to be successful, but I can at least give you a fighting chance to kind of understand before you make that initial investment. Listen, $9, it's not a lot of money. It's really not. And you know what? Like I said, at the end of the week, I'll give you money back. Now, listen, there's a couple of things that come with this, okay? So just keep in mind, the 1 week trial is going to give you access to this. You're going to get access to our trading room from 7:45 to 4:30. You're going to get a daily market watch list, okay? You're going to get a Q&A workshop, 3 pro workshops. You're going to get Traders Talk archives, $1,000 investment. And remember, the first 20 that register right now will get a free coaching with me. That's a $500 value. Okay. Listen, my time is money, right? And I know you don't want to waste my time, but if you want to do this correctly, I will make the actual effort to go out there and train all of you. So go out there, make the investment, $9. Let me teach you about iceberg orders. Let me teach you about level 3, level 4. Let me show you how to follow these institutions, the algorithms. Let me just teach you supply and demand, the things that you never heard of before. Now, let me just do a couple of shout outs really quick. A couple of people registered already. Who do we have here? John Coca, I just got your registration. Welcome aboard. Leslie Holland, I see you've been chatting a little bit here. Got your registration. Welcome aboard. Who else we got here registering? Edwin D, got your registration. Welcome aboard. Now listen, very important. When you register, there's going to be a Q&A. Please fill out Let us know. Have you ever taken training before? Do you have a brokerage account? Want to make sure you have the right account. Do you have level 3? Okay. How much money are you trading with? Very important. You know what I mean? Because certain stocks you can trade, and there's a certain style that, depending on your account balance, you can trade one way versus another way. So there are a lot of ways that you can go out there and trade. But you know what? Just take it seriously. And by the way, you don't got to be there for a whole week. That was another question people asked me. Listen, if you could be there for one day, be there for one day. All right. Any other questions, by the way? Listen, there are over 100 people here. To me, I think I sold every one of you to do it. But not everybody you're going to buy it. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't like the way I look. Maybe you don't like my hair. I don't know what it is. But the thing is this. You have to learn from somebody. You cannot go into business without first learning the mistakes that people make and how they're successful another. You might think one way, but the street might think another. And for all of you out there that work so hard, especially all of you out there that are looking to retire or retired, how hard have you worked to save for that money? You can't live off that money. You got to build on it. And like anything else, you need money to make money. You know what I mean? It's hard to make it up front. So you got to go out there and definitely work up to it. No problem, Leslie. I listen, that's great that you registered. I love you too. I love everyone here, but I'm also I feel like a father to a lot of people that trade. Listen, I'll tell you something that was very touching to me. Just to let you know how close we are with our that we have a great relationship with our students, being almost like a family. I want to do a quick shout out to one of our students, Bill Ireland. Let me tell you a little story about Bill Ireland. Here's a gentleman that was a chef on a cruise ship. He hated it. He loved his job in the beginning, but he hated it. And he always had an interest of trading. He had to make something to replace his job. It was kind of difficult to do that. But here you have a job. You can come and go when you please. And he went through our program, and I can't tell you how many times he wanted to quit. Because, listen, whatever, you get frustrated, whatever it is. Well, he stuck it out. We coached him. We helped him. He really wanted to make this work. He's been a student for ours for several years now. He's there. He just got into a major accident driving his electric bike. Somebody hit him. He was in ICU. They took out 3 liters of blood at him. Everything happened after one day. He went out. He sent us an email just to let us know that he got into an accident and that he's okay, and and just hope for the best for him. Out of all people, why does he need, you would think he'll reach his family, whatever it is. Just to let you know, this is the kind of relationship we have with our traders. Okay, this was the latest relationship. And this is what tells us how we bond with our traders. But because he knows how hard we worked to make him successful, to replace his future, his job, to make him a better, to replace his job, to do something that will support his income for the future. And you'll see stories like that on our Google, our homepage. You'll see the stories in our trading room. But at the end of the day, you all need that guru, that family to do it, to be successful at it. So, like I said, go out there, try it out. The worst thing that could happen is you find out it's not for you. Getting a lot of registrants here. Let me just do a couple more shout outs here. Gary Marino, it's got your registration. Welcome aboard. Mark Pilgrim got your registration. I'm just going to show everybody. You can probably see it right here. Those are all the people registering right now. Marco Casadana got your registration. Edward got your registration. Welcome aboard. Listen, I don't understand. We only got about 20 people registered already. There's over 100 of you here. What are you waiting for? I mean, what more do you want me to tell you? Listen, I know some of you here took courses with other schools and said, you know what? Like I did option. I got to get it to work. Let me tell you something. If you're doing it more than 30 to 60 days and you're not seeing that you're doing well at it, you're wasting your time. Let me tell you what my dad taught me a long time ago. My dad hired a lot of people in his day. Okay. He interviewed a lot of people in his day. A lot of people didn't qualify for the job in the first place. But there are some people he thought that were qualified. So he hired them. After going through 50 resumes, he found one person. Out of all those people he found, the only people he had to fire because they were still not qualified. Okay? So my point is this, is that just because if you own a business or you work for somebody, you know what? It's not going to take a person, my point what I'm getting to, it doesn't take you 6 months, a year to do this. Could you imagine paying someone a year to work for you and they still don't get it? You're going to still pay that person his pension, his IRA, his salary, his medical insurance, his taxes? Listen, you know what? And there are people that come to work on the first 2 days and like, you know what? It's not working out. Well, here's your opportunity to do the same thing. Go out there, try it out. If it doesn't work out, at least you said you went out there, you did a class with one of the most reputable schools in the industry, has a very good reputation, and it didn't cost you that much to do it. Because let me tell you something, if you really want to take this seriously, this is only the beginning. It takes a real good commitment. When you get sick or anything, you think you just take a pill and it's over? Oh, I got surgery. You know what? Let me tell you a story. It's going to happen to me. Let me tell you a personal story. I'm 51 years old. I just turned 51, September 18th. Last month, I went out. I was in Delaware. We rented a house with 3 families, and I was playing beach volleyball. Now, let me just tell everybody: when we get older, we're not as mobile as we are. I jumped up for the ball, blew out my knee. I got an ACL and an MCL. Okay, I got to get surgery. You know what? The easiest part about the surgery is getting the surgery. You know what the hardest part I was told is the rehab. It takes 9 months to recover from it. What the hell am I going to do for 9 months? I got to be in a cast for 4 weeks. I mean, how am I going to shower? Listen, but the bottom line is, you all know that if you don't do your rehab and you say, "Oh, I'm going to take the cast off. I already got the surgery. I should be fine." Yeah, let me know how that works out for you. Got to stop watching Top Gun, Mike, right? Well, he didn't do too. I know, right? Well, he didn't do too bad. But you're right. The Top Gun probably got into me. But the point I'm getting to is this: is that this is a really great job. I love it. You can make a lot of money doing it, but you got to know how to play the game. So this is what I want you all to do: make that investment, try it out. If it doesn't work out, at least you say you didn't do it. But let me tell you, it's the greatest job in the world. You are your own boss. You can do it anywhere in the world. But you got to know how to follow those iceberg orders. You got to know how to use the platform. All right, guys. So listen, I got to go. It's a couple of more shout outs right here. Got a bunch of registrants right here that came across. Who else we got here registered? John Bindell just got your registration. Lance from Chicago got your registration. A whole bunch of them. I can't even go through it. Last questions. Let me just answer some of these questions. Can you tell me when the market is the top and when the bottom is? Joe, why would you want me to tell you that? Wouldn't you want to be able to figure it out on your own? And you know you can figure that out when I show you exactly where the orders are. I can't tell you anything. First of all, let me make a point to you. It is illegal, unless I am a registered rep, to tell you what to buy and sell. Okay? I know some of you like that, but you know what? Unless you're registered, it doesn't work that way. All right. William says, both my knees replaced. Rehab was the worst. I'm still freaking out about it, William. I really am. The good thing is my mouth still works. My hands will work. I can still, thank God I don't have a physical job. Okay. So that's another thing what's nice about trading. We're not as mobile as we are, but you know what? This is the best way of using your brain. All right, fellow traders. Mike, thanks so much for those great compliments. I appreciate it. Listen, I'd like to thank everybody for registering. I look forward to seeing you all in the trading room. I'm going to send you my personal email. Make sure you book your appointment with your education advisor. Let them do the walkthrough with you. And I look forward to seeing everybody in there. Do you work out regularly? Lori, I did, but I stopped during the summer, and I got to get back into it. But the thing I was taught is your joints, they don't get big. The muscle can get big, but the joint does. But I got to get back into it. Thanks, though, Lori, for your comment. Thanks for that, though. Good luck, everyone. I'll see you all in the trading room. Register right now, $9. Look forward to seeing you there. Just be patient. Just watch. We always say the 3 L's. Look, listen, and learn. That's the key. Thanks, everyone. Happy trading. We'll see you all in the trading room.